wake-up call. The blowing the shofar wakes us up as we start the growth into the new year. It says, don't start Rosh Hashanah is not the beginning, it starts now. This is the time. So how is it that this is how is it that God is reachable this time? So there's a moshel given the Maggid project says a beautiful idea. Similar to you said about Melech Basoda was the Adumas. But he says actually, imagine when I was a kid, we did in school, it was the Queen's Silver Jubilee. Silver Jubilee, how many years was Silver Jubilee?
Was that 77?
Yeah, 77, yeah, 1977. And all there were street parties and everything else, and basically we had to line up outside school with our British flags as the Queen would drive past, and you thought you wouldn't get a glimpse because there were tinted windows and security and police, and you thought maybe you'd get a glimpse, right? Imagine you want to go and see the Queen. She's in Buckingham Palace, even if she's there, you can't get to see her. She's in her castle. She's in her special limousine. You can't get to her. But there's a time when you get to the Queen. When you get to the Queen, when she goes on walkabout. You know, walkabout. She walks through. They used to do nowadays with security. And now it's often they do walkabout. She used to tour different countries, and she'd go see you. Go to the Commonwealth countries, and you'd see, and she'd talk to her. So when the Queen is outside, what happened? God's palace is the Beit HaMikdash, is the temple. The temple's been destroyed. So where is God? Where is the Shekhinah? The Shekhinah is in the street.
Nice.
The divine presence. So for God's glory, it's terrible. It's terrible. Hashem's palace has been destroyed. He's in rags in the street. The palace of God. It's accessible now. We can all go. And actually, this is it. Rosh Hashanah, when God we coronate God as the King of the universe and the King of the world. Who are the people who coronate God as the King? The ones who cared about God when he was in the street. The God who cared about when the palace was destroyed and God was in exile. Those are the ones who can coronate God. So this is an incredible time. God is more accessible now than any other time of the year.
Are you telling me that we can access God even though we agree that he's in exile? But these 3 weeks we can access him.
Yeah, well, he's more accessible to the people during this time of year. And therefore, although externally it's sadness, it's destruction, the Benemius, internally, as far as the purpose of human beings, which is our purpose is to connect to Hashem. Our purpose is to know Hashem, to understand Hashem. So now God's accessible. God's in the street. So if God is in the street, he's outside, then we can access him. We can access God. This is a great time during these 3 weeks, and therefore, what is a Yom Tov? What is a Yom Tov? They're called Mo'adim.
Yeah.
Mo'adim. What does a Mo'ed mean? Anyone know what a Mo'ed means? You've got a Mo'ed. Mo'adim is the festivals. What else is a Mo'ed? Where else should come the Torah, that word, Mo'ed? Chol Mo'ed. Where does it come into?
Talking about a precise time.
Precise time. Where else do we have it? Mo'ed. We have a Mo'ed. There's a part of the Ohel Moed, which is called the tent of
meeting.
Oh, listen to this. Moed, the Mishkan, the mobile temple, was called a Moed because what is a Moed? A Moed, says Reb Shimshon Phil Hirsch, is a rendezvous. What's that? A meeting place. It's a meeting place for us to meet God. It's the Mishkan. That's the temple. It's a meeting place. And what is a festival? God exists not only in place but also in time. A festival is the rendezvous in time. So what happens? So what happens now? So that's what Yom Tov is. We can be more connected to Hashem on a Pesach, or there's more opportunities to the special mitzvahs that we do, and on a Shabbos. But actually, during the 3 weeks, what do we say? God is. He's more accessible. He's out on the street. Therefore, he's more. It's available. It's much more easy to connect to Hashem during this time. Therefore, because Hashem is much more accessible, it's a moed. It's a festival. Hence, there's 21 days. It's not a mistake that we're mourning for 3 weeks. The reason it's 3 weeks is because there's 21 festivals in the Torah, and each day is an opportunity for us to rendezvous with the divine, to connect with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to speak to him. God is much more accessible. We can feel Hashem much more during this time. If we focus, we pay attention, we use our eyes to think about God, think about life, think about our souls, the godly part of each one of us, and actually look at that. And that way we can find HaKadosh Baruch Hu in the world, and therefore he brings down one of the most important things to do this time is prayer. Prayer is a very important thing to speak to God during this time. Remember, he's outside, we can talk to Hashem. No need to ask me for what I want about to. Just to bond with him. Not God isn't just a vending machine. I need a bit more cash. Do present. He comes in. Yeah, that's not what prayer is.
Reading Tehillim would do it.
Yeah, praising God, talking to God about appreciating. Thank you Hashem for all the goods, and feeling God's pain. Feeling God's pain that we live in a world that most of the world deny God exists. We live in an atheistic society, or we live in a world where there's a corrupted view of God, of what godliness is, and blowing people up and destroying and murder. So that's all part of God's pain. So talk to us, so feel God's pain when He's out there. Feel the exile of the Golos. It's called Shechinta in Kabbalistic. It's called Shechinta Begulusa. It's called the Shekhinah, divine presence in exile. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Good man, catch. Okay, so those are really just some ideas just to think about on a spiritual level with the eyes. I just want to finish off because we spoke about the eyes. It's interesting that we have 3 special haftarot that we're going to read in the 3 weeks. Have you got a chumash?